back on Greensboro Avenue towards the Riverfront Park, or the Riverwalk, whatever you want to call it, at the corner of Jack Warner Parkway. Just got done eating lunch, so I'm fully energized to get back to recording and doing my thing. So over here are like on the just slightly north of downtown. Here's some apartment buildings. There's the Riverfront Village apartments over here. In addition to these being apartment buildings, there's also like a fitness center on the ground level, along with a couple of restaurants. As you can see right here, it's a 9-round kickboxing fitness center, conveniently located for the residents. There's also a couple of hotels. There's one right here called the Homewood Suites. Over there's an Embassy Suites, but there's a Homewood Suites right here by Hilton. And over there is the Hotel Indigo. And right here is Parker Hahn Park. So we're about to walk down the riverfront of Tuscaloosa momentarily. I say the best part for last, and it's no disrespect to all the other sites that I've seen in Tuscaloosa, but you know, everybody who knows me knows that riverfronts are like my favorite parts of cities that contain riverfronts. And if it doesn't have a riverfront, cities that don't have a riverfront, the next best thing would be outside of downtown, or like, you know, like little art districts and large urban green spaces. As you can see, there goes the highway right there. I believe that's Highway 359. Here comes a walking / jogging trail right there. I'm not quite sure what this is. It looks like it may be a stage for performing, because I see what looks like lighting over there. There you see, there goes the Black Warrior River. Goes a couple of historical markers over here. As you can see right here, this is Horace King, born a slave in South Carolina in 1807. You know, he was a master bridge builder. And he built multiple bridges and other structures across the South. Known for his organizational abilities and building skills and personal integrity, he formed the King's Brothers Bridge Company with his family after the Civil War. So him, and there's another gentleman over here. His name was Captain Benjamin Eddins. Proceed down this trail right here. This nice sculpture right here symbolizes Tuscaloosa sister cities. So Tuscaloosa has sister cities with Narashino, Japan, Schondorf, Germany, and Sunyani, Tekiman, Ghana. So basically, according to this right here, it says that the Tuscaloosa Sister Cities program, their mission is to foster peace through people, promoting friendship, mutual respect, and understanding. On this common ground, we all grow stronger. So this was established on August 24th, 2011, as far as this monument right here. So it symbolizes just peace, understanding, unity, all that good stuff. It's a nice sculpture over here on the riverfront. This is in honor of Captain Mike. This is called Madero's Point. This is in tribute to Mike Maderos, also known as Captain Mike, who was a highly optimistic, really compassionate individual who owned the Bama Bill riverboat. So, you know, the riverboat used to come over here on this riverfront during that time frame where Captain Mike was the owner of that particular boat. A nice way to build your legs, the leg muscles climbing up these hills. But it's a pretty good exercise, I must say. Very good exercise, actually. If only I had my bike out here, I could do this all day. This is like right up my alley. Especially by a waterfront. Oh yes. I can't wait to visit those cities by the lake. Like Chicago, Milwaukee, you know, Cleveland, Buffalo, places like that. In the next couple of years, I plan on visiting all those cities and doing videos there. So be on the lookout for those. Don't want to make any promises, but that's what I plan on doing. goes a little pedestrian bridge right here. Over there, that building right there is the Tuscaloosa News. So this is where the city of Tuscaloosa, they circulate their newspapers, you know, their publications pertaining to events right here in the city of Tuscaloosa. So there it goes right over there. And right here, we're at the front of the Mercedes-Benz amphitheater. Fun fact, Mercedes-Benz actually has like a, I believe it's a visitor center, like a few miles east and like the eastern outskirts of Tuscaloosa, not far from Birmingham. So it's kind of like halfway between Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. But this here right here is the city of Tuscaloosa's Mercedes-Benz amphitheater. So nothing going on event-wise today, but it is situated by the Black Warrior riverfront in Tuscaloosa. I can't go over there because the gate is locked, but it's all good. Looks like a nice amphitheater. Looks like it'd be pretty lit, you know, when there is an event that's taking place. The Kentuck Art Center and Gallery, one of the major draws, probably the biggest major draw to Northport. There goes Rusty the dog, as you can see over there, by Larry Godwin. And you have the rabbit. This is pretty cool. Yeah, here is the Kentuck Art Center. A lot of interesting art pieces. If you're ever interested and you're in the area, want to come check it out. This video is going to be relatively brief, but I am located across the Black Warrior River from Tuscaloosa in the town called Northport, Alabama. It's north of the river across from Tuscaloosa, hence the name Northport. So here we are. It's a lot more quiet on this side of the river than much more quiet than Tuscaloosa. You can literally say it's like a twin city, but at the same time kind of like a neighboring small town, suburb, whatever you want to call it. But this is the main street, and it has like a small town vibe to it. But this is this downtown area. These are townhomes over here, actually. It's called the Station. And these are like some condos over here. This building right there on First, it's called First and Main. Nice, look like some nice townhomes and condos over here. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people that live in Northport actually work in Tuscaloosa, being that Tuscaloosa is a much bigger city than Northport. But it's very, very quiet over here. You can hear a pin drop over here, for real. You can actually hear the birds chirp. You don't really hear horns honking. I mean, you heard a lot of that even in Tuscaloosa. It was busy. And Tuscaloosa is a mid-sized city, but it was a lot going on. There was a lot of traffic out there, especially like around 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. But you also, again, have to remember Tuscaloosa is a college town, so it does get relatively busy for that reason. I'm not sure what this wooden structure is. It looks like it could have been like a wooden, I don't know if that's a railroad track or what. It doesn't look like it, really. I mean, I don't know, I can't really tell. It looks like it may be. But right here, it shows that this is Alabama's historic Byler Road. So apparently this is Alabama's first road. And keep in mind, Tuscaloosa was established in 1819. And this also was the same year that Alabama became a state. And this right here is 140. It's part of a 140-mile corridor. So it actually starts, this road, Byler Road, starts all the way not too far from Florence, Alabama, in the northwestern corner of the state. And it flows all the way to the Warrior River Falls at the state capitol crossing at Tuscaloosa. And this was when Tuscaloosa was the capital of Alabama. So the land cost during that time was $50 to $150 per acre, and that was high value cotton land. Average cotton land was $20 per acre, and marginal cotton land was $2 per acre. Wow. If only acres of property were that cheap today, shoot, we be sitting pretty, man. Majority of us would be living large on the land. You know what I'm saying? Here in the States. But here's Northport. It was also where a lot of the cotton industry took place. in Alabama. And also keep in mind, these river banks, you know, these cities that are like by the riverfront, they're very, very important as far as the commerce for the city, because that's where a lot of their they get a lot of like their goods get shipped via riverboat. And again, you know, being that this is the South, you know, you have a lot of fertile like land that where you can cultivate crops such as cotton. And that was a huge thing, like in states like Alabama, Mississippi, you know. So yeah, that's a interesting port. But I still wonder what that wooden structure is. I'm curious to. It looks like it could have potentially been a railroad. But whatever it is, they built, you know, some townhomes right in front of it. Some residential development. I'm curious to know. I wonder how much these things cost. I looked at the sign that said that a lot of these units of these townhomes are fully furnished. So I'm pretty sure they cost, you know, a pretty good amount of money. And then on top of that, it's by a riverfront. Or at least not far from the riverfront, and it's downtown. And that's, you know, really prime real estate right there. You got some more like townhomes over there. I mean, it's very quiet over here. I mean, you could just park your car, and if you didn't want to go to Tuscaloosa, I mean, it's more to do in Tuscaloosa, but if you didn't want to go there, you know, you have a nice little quiet Main Street area you can enjoy here in Northport. So it's a win-win either way you look at it. Now we're making our way into the main avenue business district of Northport. So you're gonna see a lot more establishments down this way. You're gonna see your typical mom and pop spots. You know, you're also gonna see some restaurants, cafes, the whole nine. Clothing stores, your occasional dry cleaning business. Hardware store right here. For those who like to build. There's a sports grill over across the street right here. It's called Billy's. Saban, the man, myth, and never a myth, always a legend. And there goes the elephants right here. So, you know, there's a lot of Roll Tide pride, not only in the city of Tuscaloosa, but across the river in Northport. Oh, would you look at there? As it turns out, I was right. That is a railroad track. That wooden structure that we saw earlier, it actually is a railroad track. Because you can see right there, there's a freight train. There's a freight train going across that railroad bridge right there. That overpass. There goes a freight train. And right next to it, there goes a meat market. There it goes. Those famous words, Roll Tide. And on that note, good people, I'm gonna conclude this Tuscaloosa / Northport video. And just a reminder, if you like what you saw, please hit that subscribe button. And not only hit that subscribe button, but hit the notification bell. That way you get notifications every time I post. And so every time I do I drop some new videos, you get them notifications on your phone or whatever device that you view these videos on. And on that note, appreciate you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for the next vid. And until then, peace. Catch y'all later. Have a blessed one.